episode of Automotivated. JB, how are you?
I am doing great, Shayna. How about you? I mean, how can you be anything but great on a day like today with the weather being what it is?
Oh, I know. You know what? Fall is my favorite time of year, and we've had a hot summer around the Philadelphia area. So I'm looking outside right now. It is a beautiful day, but it was that like crisp morning that everybody just the leaves are going to start turning soon. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is. And I hope that the rest of the country can experience a day like today, too.
We're very lucky. The fact that we get four seasons,
Hmm.
I think that's something that we can take for granted oftentimes. So, yeah, hopefully everybody that's tuning in is also having a beautiful day where they are. And we're here to share some more knowledge like we always do on these Wednesday afternoons.
Definitely. We got a subject that I think the universe said you got to talk about. And you know what that is, right?
It is. You know what? It's funny because this is a thing that you're also not supposed to talk about, but we're going to talk about age today.
Well,
You like how I did
yeah,
that?
very, very nice. Some of us don't age while the rest of us are really aging. But anyway,
But we are going to talk about the whole concept of how vehicles are actually older on the road than they've ever been before, but how that's a great opportunity for your auto repair shop.
it's an incredible opportunity, and I happen to find an article that just came out yesterday from CNBC, and the article is about the age of cars going up, and it's a known fact. It's something I've been talking about for a long time, but it's still going up and up and up, and the article is very good. So if you want to look for it, find it. But we're going to talk about some of that today,
No,
and what
I'm throwing
there's
that article in here just so
oh
everybody has it.
cool. And what they're saying is that the average age of a car is 12.1 years. All right. And what does that mean? Well, that means business, folks, because the more miles on the vehicle and the longer it's on the road, it's going to need some kind of work,
Hmm.
and let's take into account that it's not unheard for a car to have 200,000 miles anymore. With the technology that they have in them and the safety systems, these are reasons why people are going to hang on to them.
Hmm.
And people are going to buy more cars because they don't want to share a ride with somebody who they may not know or may be infected or something like that. So there's a whole lot of things coming together to make these cars stay on the road a lot longer. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, the interesting part about, I think it was what in 2002, I believe the article says the average car on the road was like 9 years old. Then, by 2019, it was 11.2. And now it's, what did you say, over 12 years old
12.1.
as of this year. So, not obviously we've seen a big shift from the early 2000s to just a couple of years ago, but the fact that COVID really increased that transition as well. I mean, we know, and a lot of people that are probably tuning in right now know the dealership market, right? Like
Mhm.
it's just been a crazy year and a half for people, and it's because people are investing in these vehicles that have been around. They don't feel the need to get a new vehicle necessarily.
Well, they can't. you
Yeah.
know, I mean, the lockdowns make the shortage. There's less new vehicles. There's less driving. There's the chip shortage, which is now emptying the parking lots. Used cars in demand because people don't want to share rides. Now they want to buy them, but they're in a shortage. And then Hurricane Ida came through and knocked out a few 100,000 vehicles on
Mhm.
lots and in customers' hands. All
Yes.
these things are coming together that even if you're ready to move on to your next vehicle, there may not be one there for you. So it's not so much the want that you want to do it; it's the ability. Is it available? So people are going to hang on to their vehicles, and this is a
Mhm.
great time for a shop to cash in on that idea because it's so much cheaper for them to keep the vehicle and give you the money to keep it maintained than it is to go out and try to buy a vehicle. I think the used car market's up 45% since the beginning of the year, cost wise, the vehicle prices. And I'm not exactly sure, but it was some kind of crazy number. You can't afford to buy a used car because some of them are more expensive than, or almost as expensive as they are new.
Mhm.
So it's
Absolutely.
crazy.
Mhm. And I mean, it's a great, we always talk about, you know, shops are always going to have those people that come in when something terrible happens, right? But it's really educating your customers on the importance of maintenance. And if they are maintaining their vehicle in the time frame that they should, then those expenses are going to stay down. They're not going to come in when it's only an issue and then it's a lot of money out of their pocket all at one time. They're going to be able to plan for the lifespan of their car. They're going to be able to keep up with the maintenance. They're going to be able to do right by everything. So not only are you getting more frequent visits out of your car if they understand the importance of continued maintenance rather than just dropping in when, a light comes on or they realize something wrong or there's a weird sound, but it's educating them that yes, you need to come visit us every so often, and that's going to really help with the lifespan of your vehicle.
And that's actually a very important point, Shannon, because when a vehicle sits, because now some people aren't driving as much, they're working from home, etc., other things start to happen. The rust starts to creep up on it, the rotors and whatnot start getting rusty, and a whole lot of other things that happen. The batteries start going dead. So even though the car is not being driven, we have to make sure that the public knows that it still needs to be checked on a regular basis to prevent that battery from leaving them stuck when the weather gets cold and anything else. I mean, there's so many different angles to this that shops need to get out there and get on top. Because remember, the first time a customer visits, you only have about a 5% chance of selling to them. But if you get them to come back, that number goes up to 40, 50%. And know what? The cars are on the road longer, so they're more apt to come back. So make that connection. Set up that next appointment today before they leave. Have a conversation.
I couldn't agree more. It's greater opportunity for your business. It's also the trust and the relationship that drivers need if they know that they're going to keep their cars for a lot longer. So the level of trust, the level of communication, the level of, just interaction is going to need to be top notch. So that way, you build loyalty within your shop. And, if you now hear that you get a couple extra years out of one vehicle that you have taken care of, they're not taking their car anywhere else. If you have been working on that vehicle for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, there's a lot of trust. You know the vehicle inside out. You know exactly what the history of the vehicle has been, right? Because that's always something important with all the digital vehicle inspections. You can go back and check the history of the vehicle. So it's all these things that are adding up to make you a stronger service provider ultimately for your customers.
And it's all there for the taking. And that's the thing. Shops need to realize that they got to get their name out there. Those customers that you've already been talking about them and coming to them all those years, that's great, but they need to bring some other people in. So maybe have a plan. So when Mr. Smith comes in with his 10-year-old vehicle, that you say, Mr. Smith, if you know anybody in the neighborhood that's got a car just like yours, why don't you tell them to come on down so we can take a look. Start networking, start doing reviews and stuff like that so you can get more people in because they're there. And know what? It's still going up. And how long is it going to continue to go up? Maybe for a long, long time. Because you know what? The next thing is, I ain't buying no electric car. I'm hanging on to this thing until it's done. Yeah. Because that might contribute to the whole situation in the future, you know?
You know what? That's actually a really great point because I was thinking about that. That was one of the conversations that we had only a few weeks ago about how all these new vehicles are coming in and, what that, market share will look like for electric vehicles. However, there's still going to be those people that are going to ride out their current vehicle all the way through. So it's important to, adapt to be able to service these types of vehicles, but at the same time knowing, hey, if someone just bought a new car this year, you might have an extra we're saying over 12 years now, but who knows how long that could be, 12 years from now, maybe you add on another 3 years from there. So there's still a lot of opportunity. It's important to be able to adapt, right? But I think the most important thing is, building up that trust with your customers, letting them know that you're available, but helping them and coaching them to make the best decisions for their vehicle. If they, sometimes I can even, I think to some friends and family members, they didn't take good care of their vehicle. They weren't coming in for consistent maintenance. So when something goes wrong, they're like, oh, you know what? Time to get a new car. This one's not working out. but it's okay. Let's continue to educate them so they can make the best decision. Is
Mhm.
it the best decision to actually go out and get a new car? Or is it, hey, you know what? We need to change up our maintenance plan. We need to make sure that we're consistently, getting to our repair shop, our dealer, whoever's taking care of their car, and not just automatically thinking, all right, you need to make a vast change.
And Noah, I think it's, in my opinion, it is not the time to buy a car, be it used or no, because all these things are playing up against you. But if you can get rid of a car, it's the time to do it because you're going to get top dollar for it. But
Mm-hmm.
remember, you still got to drive somewhere somehow. But I don't think buying a new car is something that would have to do. I know what? It's a shame for people that get forced in that situation due to an accident or whatever. But, well, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we just had someone write in. Tom says, "I like when you can buy used parts from an auto body repair shop or or auto body repair shops or repair shops."
That always makes life better when the parts are all there because they're still on the road.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But all right, so we went into the topic about age, and I think we did so respectfully. So who knows? It's aging like fine wine. Maybe it's like aging like your current vehicle. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna start a new trend here. But I think this is something really important. It's a great opportunity for the shops that we work with, and really shops all over. So I think if you can change the conversation, empower your customers, they're going to be able to do better by the vehicles that they drive as well.
And, one last thing, think about it. They're keeping a vehicle that they've had for 10 years. So there's a level of trust with that vehicle. They know it.
Mhm.
And as you said earlier, because they're going to your shop all the time, getting the service done, that trust is even bigger. So
Mhm.
take a hold of that and go that extra step to let customers know that you're there for them and bring those vehicles in so we can keep them on the road another 10 years.
There you go. We like it. JB, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you. I think this was a great topic. We want to know what you want to learn about next. So make sure you're dropping your comments down below. Let us know what questions you have. Also, let us know some of the vehicles that you have coming into your shop. I always love hearing the stories of, oh, we just serviced a vehicle that has so many miles on it, or, they've
Mhm.
had since, this year, whatever it may be. We want to hear what you're doing at your shop, and we want to hear how you're doing right by your customers. But until next time, JB, I know we have a couple of really great topics lined up
Mhm.
for the future. So,
And we are really auto motivated to share with our audience.
yes, we are. We are automotivated. We hope you are too. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks so much.